Hello wonderful people. So this is a Galactic Mayan Astrology report for the 26th of July 2019, and this is a biggie. This is the most significant wave spell that we have had for the past 13 years, so it's huge. So, as I've mentioned before, with Galactic Mayan Astrology, there are cycles on top of cycles on top of cycles. So we have two main calendars. We've got the 9-month calendar, which is where all of the different signs come from. So for instance, us moving into White Wizard Wavespell is part of this 9-month cycle. But then alongside that, we also have a 13 moon cycle, which is a yearly cycle, because it's all based on astrology. We've got the 9-month, which is the human being cycle. We've got the 13 moon, which is the planetary cycle. So we've just entered a brand new 13-year cycle. The previous cycle was in the energy of red moon. So when that cycle initiated, it was the first day of red moon wave spell 13 years ago. So we had 13 years of working with this energy of red moon, which was about purification. It was about emotional evolution. It was about really going into the dark. It was about opening up our shadows. It was about shadow transformation and working and really difficult things coming to us. It was like, all of the things that we weren't able to cope with or handle, that were lurking in our subconscious from our past experiences, had to present itself. Now we're moving into a completely different energy for the next 13 years, and this is what we're going to all be experiencing together as a planetary body. So we're in this energy of White Wizard. So for the next 13 days, we're going to be getting a glimpse of the next 13 years, which is epic. And it really will be different for each one of us. And this is the thing with the wave spells, this is the way that the energy works. Even though on one level we are all experiencing the same thing, how that comes into us will be different, because we've each got a different experience of life. We've each got a different astrological code individually. So the White Wizard energy is all about bridging dimensions. It's all about the gatekeeper. It's all about the ancient way of being on the planet. The wizard is the shaman. The wizard is the ability to transcend the third dimension. It's the ability to really connect in with the bigger picture of life. It's about really being able to connect in with all elements of reality, but bring that back and ground it in. So a lot of times, within spiritual circles, within spirituality, there's what I feel is quite a bypass. So it's all out here, it's all about energy, it's all about feeling, it's all about blah, 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 it's all about channeling, and not a lot of, right, let's bring that into action. But the whole point of the different medicines that are on the planet is to inform the action for the human being, as opposed to us doing the Neptunian Piscean trip of checking out and living in the astral realms in the same way that if we were addicted to heroin, it'd be the same thing, perhaps not injected as ceremonially as drinking from a cup in an honouring way, but it's all about bringing that back, entering the astral in whatever way we do. That might be for you, like me, through movement, through dance. It's about really giving ourselves the space to venture into that beautiful present moment awareness, but then bring back the teachings to then be able to step forward into life as a human being. So this wave spell is really about us really seeing what we're going to be working with for the next 13 years, and what feels good, what feels restrictive, and what our tendencies are. So as I say, because this energy is really about being able to access these other dimensions and then bring it back into form, we may see that there is a tendency to escape or to want to escape. It might be that people that are working with different addictions it may get stronger, but the thing is, it's getting stronger because it's been broken through. So it's really about us being able to grid into the bigger picture and the bigger vision. So like the Aboriginal dream time is the same thing as the astral realm. You know, it's this space where we can really check in with the bigger vision, you know, for what we want to be experiencing on the planet. So personally, you know, I've kind of been having this incredible experience with the person that I feel is my counterpart, and it's been a really interesting journey for me over the past few years of really kind of searching for him and then totally giving up and working with all the conditioning around it all and just being like, oh, and then literally from nowhere he's here. And he was always here anyway, I just couldn't bloody see him. But we've been having this incredible journey recently that I feel is really the preparation for what's to come. And it's been really this energy of spanning different dimensions. So, for instance, yesterday we went on this magical mystery tour. In the UK we have something called Greggs, which is a pasty shop. And if you don't know what a pasty is, it's basically like a baked thing. You know, it's like crispy baked goodness that goes in the oven and then comes out, and it's got like a filling in it. It might be like cheese and beans or something. It's a very like traditional, cheap English fast food. And we decided to pull over at a service station and have a pasty, right? So that is a very third dimensional experience. Then we went, because we'd been driving for a while and it was hot, to sit on the grass, and we really gridded in with the earth there, and it was mega, mega beautiful, and we were like meditating with these pasties. Then Freddie gets a like inspiration to go over to this tree, goes over to this tree and discovers there's this thing called like geo-tracking or something like that neither of us had any idea about. And basically it's like a treasure hunt, and people leave these like boxes of treasure in different places, and people find the location on the map, drive to them, open them up, put a little gift in, or take something out and leave a little message. So we found this box of fucking treasure, and it was on the top of it. Just before he went over, we were talking about energy, and then this massive truck comes next to us that says quantum on the side of it. Then he has that fucking like, oh, I'm going to go over to that tree, goes over to the tree, comes back with this box of treasure that had a picture of like a quantum particle on the lid. It's just like, ah! But that's it. You know, that little experience is really what we're about. You know, it's not about leaving behind the 3D. It's not about trying to detach. It's about integrating within what we have here. It's not about waiting for everything to be cleaned up before we can bring the divine and the higher dimensional energy through. It's not about, you know, oh, we're either asleep or we're awake. It's that it's all a dream anyway, and it's part of it, you know. And like, if we hadn't had the urge, the very three-dimensional urge to get a pasty, then none of that would have happened. And it was an incredibly synchronistic, mind-blowing experience. And this is what is going to get stronger for the next 13 years, but also within this Wavespell we're really going to be able to feel it and see it. So when it comes to the White Wizard, like I say, the challenge really is about being able to be on the planet. It's about being able to come back. Yes, we can go there, we can have the most amazing, incredible, insightful experiences, but it's about bringing that back, and how can I integrate that to then be of service, to be of service to myself in my own life, and to be of service to the planet. And it's the same thing. When we are doing what feels loving towards us, then we are doing what is loving for the planet too. So it's really a time of really getting to know what our divine mission is, really getting to know our divine self. And it might be that there's still blockages that you feel you're working with, but you're gonna be. It's the same thing as this like Greg's pasty. It's not about waiting until we are fully healed and fully perfect. It's about allowing ourselves to glimpse and experience and live these higher dimensional experiences while still in this map, while still in this body, while still with this story. Yeah, so the White Wizard Wavespell is really, really about us bringing, you know, if everything is a vision quest, bringing that in. Does that make sense? You know, it's like really venturing out into the world and seeing where we're at, you know, really allowing ourselves to experience and to witness what it is that, you know, our heart's calling is, because that's, you know, another sort of conversation that I've been having quite a lot recently is, you know, this whole thing of trying to figure out reality and what's going on, and oh, we've got no idea. We've got absolutely no idea. You might have a little inkling, but then the minute that the mind grabs onto it, gone, poof. The one thing that we do have is the heart and how it feels. If it feels good and we're getting really good feedback from the universe, boof, we've got it. And we only need to know that little moment. We just need to keep following that. We don't need to work it out. We don't need to, and this is the other thing as well with the insights that we get. It might be that that insight and that inspiration takes us to the next step, and it might not be actualized. So sometimes I think we can get ourselves so fixated on, well, I got this vision and that's what I need to do. But actually that vision was to get you to the next step, to receive a different vision. But if you hadn't had the original vision in the first place, you wouldn't have got to the next step. So it's about being able to really receive all of this magic and all of this experience and all of this insight, but without fixating on it, without using it as a limitation. Use it as the inspiration, but also keep following the heart. So as I say, you know, we are really shifting, and I feel, you know, everybody that I've spoken to, and I'm connected to so many incredible people that have got so many different beliefs and opinions and ideologies and ways of living, but everybody has really been feeling this like completion point and this like, whoa, okay, so the old script, the old story of what I thought my life was going to be and what I thought my life was about feels like it's gone. And I feel in a very different space. So when it comes to me and astrology, I felt like I got really disheartened with everything, and I was like, I guess really working with this like sociological perspective of the power dynamic between people. And because I'm writing a thesis about self-directed education, I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be somebody that's sort of saying that I know how it is and all of this stuff. But actually, the amount of feedback that I've got that said, please keep doing the videos, and the way that it makes me feel when I'm not in here, I really want to keep doing them. It feels right and aligned to keep doing them, so I'm going to. But my focus is really going to be on the young people for the next year, because I'm starting my project, so there'll be a bit more about that coming very, very soon. But it's that thing as well, you know, as I was just saying, these intuitions that we get that we're like, yes, okay, that feels really clear. I know for myself, I'm like, right, well, that's the way that it is then. So when I was feeling like, actually, I think I want to continue doing the astrology reports, doing the Wavespell videos, there was like a conflict within me of like, oh, well, I thought that was the way it is, but actually, through thinking, right, I'm going to let go of that, I then got to the place with my project with young people that I really needed to. I needed to focus all my attention and energy on that, and now the space has come back again. So within this White Wizard, you know, really allow yourself, especially on the first day, on the 26th of July, just witness, you know, and I say this all the time, just witness what comes in, but also, you know, find what it is that is your practice. I would say that would be a really good guidance for this Wavespell. What is it? Is it that you are a person that works with medicine? Is it that you are a person that works with movement? Is it that you're a painter? Are you a writer? Are you a poet? What is it that allows you to, is it through meditation, to drop into that part of yourself where you are the witness and you receive something, you know, whatever it is that gives you that experience of something coming from you, coming through you, as opposed to you pushing something out. You know, what is it that when you allow yourself to drop into a dormant state and the universe, or however you want to frame it, is bringing something through you, find that. Because that is going to be the thing that for the next 13 years is your portal. And it's not about losing yourself to that. It's about having that experience, but then bringing that into action and stepping forward with it. because the past 13 years of Red Moon have been about this purification and this cleaning. And now it's like, whoa, we've got all that space. We're bringing something new through, and we're doing it together. And each one of us has got a little bit of the puzzle, and that comes through our heart. It's literally our joy. That's all we've got to give. The only way that we can be of service is being in joy. And interestingly, the thing that really brings us joy on the deepest level is always of service. It's so interesting, isn't it? So I hope that you have a wonderful initiation into this new cycle and really enjoy, the 13 days of White Wizard, but also really, set your intentions for this 13 years. It's quite a big cycle to think about. Often we'll make a 3-year plan, and it's not necessarily about the planning, but it's about really allowing ourselves to grid into what we want and how we feel and what feels good, and then making a really haphazardous plan, of okay, so how can I make that a reality? If I give myself 13 years, what do I want over that 13 years? So if you do have space on the 26th of July, just let yourself tune into that. Maybe have an hour or two of just visioning what you would like for the next 13 years. Plant some intentions, do some ceremony, and just recognise that, it's like now I'm sat in a car park. I'm surrounded by white vans, it's like a workers thing. I'm absolutely cooking in a car, but I'm beaming this out. So it's not about detaching from what is. It's about us being who we are within this, because this is why we have come. We've come to bring through our authentic selves and our authentic living a closer vibration to love. That's literally it. And by doing that in the places that seem really mundane, the magic's always here. We don't need to be in a temple. The whole bloody world is a temple. I'm sweating cobs, so I'm going to go. So I love you loads, and Happy New Year. Happy New 13 year. Mwah.